Hey traders and investors, this is the market recap for Friday, November the 13th, 2020. And the market is moving a lot higher. As I mentioned to you guys before, the market is moving higher. There's no indication that it's going to do any kind of pullback, that it's going to sell off. No, it's marching higher. So a lot of times when you see the market that way, you cannot come in here and either try to short it or try to buy puts, because the momentum is going into one direction. Looking at a 2-year daily, the market is going higher. Look here on what day this was, on the 9th, November 9th, we made an all-time high, and potentially we might try to go even higher and test even higher. And one of the things I like to say is, when you see the market going this way, it shows you the pattern of what happens. It's always moving higher. Even as this pullback in March came in, the market still came up higher. So in this market or any other thing that you invest in, you have to look at it from a long-term perspective. You must have a long-term perspective in your investment, long-term perspective of your life, um, cultivating relationship, even your portfolio, your long-term portfolio for retirement. You need to look at towards the future. You cannot It cannot be a day to day or hour to hour looking at your investments or stocks you've purchased. You have to look at it from a long-term perspective. Just like if you look at a stock like Amazon, and this is a real good example. If you purchased, if you went ahead and you purchased the stock of Amazon in 2002, while it was at $5 or around $6 or $7, and every month you were purchasing, you kept purchasing, you kept purchasing, you would have been well off in the millions. You have to look at it as a long-term view. Do not look at it as, because a lot of people who came in here and saw that it was at $48, they came in and they sold, and now they regret it. And when it came here at 400, a lot of people said it was too expensive. And just like if you looked at Bitcoin, if you looked at Bitcoin in 2015, when it was like $300, 200 to $300, a lot of people said it was so expensive. Now Bitcoin's at 15,000. Now a lot of people say it's a very expensive, and you have to diversify. Now it's a different thing. Do not say, you know what, I'm not going to invest into digital currency. It's coming. The cashless society is coming. Regardless how you look at it, whether or not you invest in um, any other cryptos, Bitcoin being the major one, you have to look at as a long term perspective. Because those who got in 2008 or '09 into Bitcoin, when it was in pennies, worth pennies, they are cashing in this these days. Or a lot of them are taking their profits and still leaving whatever they initially put into the investment of Bitcoin. They're letting it run. It's just for the long term. And just like with anything investing, if you're investing in housing, you want to start small, you want to learn about it, but see it as a long-term perspective. You're not going to gain profits right away. You know, even if you do, you need to learn. You need to grow and focus on what you're doing. And and if we're looking at any kind of calls for SPY this week, it went up higher. If you bought calls, and if you bought any kind of calls this week, and you bought it with some time, it went higher. It was one direction. You know, it went in the northerly direction. So this is one of the things, and one of the issues I wanted to present to you about investing. Go for the long term. You might have an individual account where you do a little trading, a little $500, $600 individual account where you kind of buy the options, because options you can gain 10 to 20% in a day. And those moves where you have your options going to 400, 500%, those are rare occurrences. But if you buy an option and it goes 10 to 20%, take your profits. Take your profits. You bought it at a certain price, and you've gained 10 to 20% minus whatever the commissions, and you made a profit. Take it. So never quit. Keep pushing along. Keep learning, and never give up on yourself. And this is Miami Options saying good night for and have a good weekend. See you guys.